Hello, I'm Michael Wilson, and in this video I'm going to show you how students can take a quiz online in Haiku. If you haven't already watched the first video, that one walks you through the process on actually creating a quiz. This video assumes that you have already created a quiz and are ready to have students take it. So here I'm logged in as a student and I'm looking at my programming class website that I've created in Haiku. Students need to click on the Assess tab and then down to Assessments. They'll see all of the quizzes that you have created. Now I have already closed all of these other quizzes, which means that students will not be able to take these even if they tried to. But the Loops quiz is open. So here a student is going to click on this quiz and it gives them the option to start the assessment. Now I have password protected all of my quizzes to make sure that students are not taking them outside of my classroom. And after each period, I change that password so that students can't take the quiz or text the password to their friends or anything like that. So the password for this quiz is Apple. They type it in, hit the submit button, and they can begin the quiz. Now what I'll usually do is I'll wait until all of the students are on that password screen, and once they're all there, I'll give them all the password all at once. They type it into their screen and they can begin. As soon as the last student is finished, I go ahead and change the password. Here you can see the first question is a fill in the blank. When they decide what the answer is, they simply type it in and hit OK. Every time they hit the OK button on a question, it puts a little check mark next to it to let them know that they have finished that question. The next question is multiple choice. They can select that answer and hit OK. The third question is also multiple choice. If they want to, they can hit the I'll come back later button. This will put a little flag next to the question, which will remind them to come back to this question later. If students want to, they can go back and forth to any question that they've already done and change those answers later as well. So once they answer a question, it's not locked in. They can always change it later. After they have answered all of the questions, I'm just going to very quickly answer all of the questions randomly. Another multiple choice. Here's another fill in the blank question. This is a matching question. I think these are great because these mirror what we see on the SBAC. A student needs to simply drag the definition from a question to the corresponding vocabulary term. They simply drag and drop each of their answers. If they want to delete an option, they click the little red dot and that will delete it. So I'm going to just randomly drag and drop these things. And once I've completed my matching assignment, I click OK. A quick scroll through will verify that there are check marks on every question, and I can certainly open a question again if I have changed my mind. If I see that little flag next to any question, it means that I flagged it to come back to it later. When you're finished, click the I'm finished button. The computer will confirm that they are indeed finished. I set all of my quizzes so that a student can take it only one time. If this quiz you can use the quiz function to create worksheets as well. If you create a worksheet that students are allowed to work on at home, you can still set it to only be taken just one time. If the student does not, I'm going to click cancel here. If the student does not click the I'm finished button but instead closes out the quiz, they will still be able to open it later because they have not yet finished the test. You'll see they also have the option here to resume the assessment since they have not yet clicked the I'm finished button. When the student is finished, they clicked I'm finished and confirm that they are done. Since I have specified that students can only take quizzes one time, this student will not be able to go back in and change their answers now that they have clicked the finish button. By changing the password after each quiz and by printing the quiz report as soon as all students are finished, I'm ensuring that no student is changing their answers after I have completed the test. This screen tells the students what their score was on the quiz. You can see I randomly chose answers and I only got 2 of the questions right. So they get a real immediate feedback as to how they did on the quiz. You can, as a teacher, go through the assessment with them and show them which answers they got right or which ones they've got wrong. You have access to those features, but the students do not. The system will not tell them what questions they got right and which ones they got wrong unless when you create the quiz, you specify that it is a practice quiz. If you make it a practice quiz, then they will be able to change their answers and see how they do on each question. That's about it. Have fun.